All right. Good morning, and thank you for coming to our Director Tea. The topic of today's tea is the VanDamme Academy Art Curriculum. Whenever I have new parents come and visit the school, and this is probably true for you too, they always look at our list of classes and ask, do you offer art? And the answer I've been giving to parents now is, yes, we do offer art. We have a literature class. Now, of course, I know that what they're asking me is, do you have art production classes? Do you have a drawing class? Do you have a class in which the kids paint and color and draw? And I know that that's what they mean, but my point in giving that answer is that I want to emphasize what art really is and what the role of art is in an educational program. So that's what I'm going to start by answering right now. So what is art? Art is a concretization of abstract values. It's taking some trait of character, some theme, some political idea, some moral idea, some abstract concept, and presenting it in the form of a powerful, poignant, dramatic, concrete form. So that is what art is. It takes these abstract values, these abstract ideas, and reduces them to something concrete and vivid in the form of a story, in the form of a character, or in the form of a visual work of art. So that is what art is. That's the role that art has in a person's life. So that's the purpose that we're trying to capture in the art program at VanDamme Academy. So literature is an ideal source for this. The literature that we teach here has definite characters, characters with specific traits that are very vividly concretized. It has themes, abstract meanings that we can get by analysis and integration and study of the story and reduce it down to an abstract principle that's then retainable and vivid in the form of this story. So, for example, I know some of you had children who read 93 with me last year. The character of Michelle Flechard, a mother who's lost her children, who will wander through the woods tirelessly, her feet bleeding, starving to death. If she has any food in her possession, if she encounters any hungry children, she'll divide it up and give it to the children because she can't bear to see any child suffering by the recollection of her own children, who just is tireless and devoted to her love of these beautiful children. That character will stand in the children's minds forever as the embodiment of motherly devotion. And they have in that form of concrete. If that idea ever occurs to them, they have Michelle Flechard as the model of that virtue. In An Enemy of the People, Dr. Stockman, someone who discovers that the local baths are contaminated. This is a controversial discovery. The economy of the town depends on these baths. The power of the mayor depends on his success in bringing this wealth to the town. So the idea that the baths are contaminated is a shock and a horror to the community. But at the same time, the contaminated baths are going to cause sickness and death. So Dr. Stockman promotes the truth against the anger, the outrage of a mob. That character, when the kids have read the play, stands to them as the embodiment of devotion to truth and of integrity to your principles. And they will always have in their minds the model of this character who will defend the truth against the anger of a mob. The Winslow Boy, which some of your students might have just completed recently. A character whose son is falsely accused of a crime, a minor crime at school, and kicked out of the school. He devotes everything, sacrifices the reputation of his family, ends up causing the breakup of his daughter's engagement, suffers in countless ways in order to prove his son's innocence because he's that devoted to justice and that loyal to his son that nothing else matters. That character will stand in the kids' minds as a devotion to justice and as a father who's fiercely loyal to his son. So all of these are just a few examples, and the same is true even at the younger grades. Books like The Secret Garden or An Indian in the Cupboard, books that have values, abstract principles that the kids at that age can relate to and that will mean something to them and that will come to stand in their minds as embodiments of those principles and those values. That is the value of art to these kids. It challenges them to new levels of abstraction, because these are the abstract principles, but they're arrived at little by little, piece by piece, integrating, connecting all the details of the story, all the actions of the characters, everything that happens in the novel. And gradually they come to see how it all fits together and what it means. And then that final conclusion that they come to, how it fits together and how it means, it's retainable for them. And all the vivid concretes from the story stand for that thing in their minds. So it challenges them to make those connections, to see those integrations, and to arrive at those abstract principles and those profound values. So that is one of the ways, when people ask me, what do you love about the school, what's distinctive about the school, I tell them one of them, and it evolves what I'm focused on and what I love about the school at any moment. One of the things that's most important to me is I feel like the kids who graduate from this program are capable of deep values, are capable of really caring about things, of really being interested in things, of really holding abstract ideas and things mattering to them on a deep and fundamental level. And I think the art program, the literature and the art appreciation classes are a major part of what contributes to that effect. These characters that they come away with are embodiments of abstract traits and can also serve for them as models of inspiration or as warnings of what they don't want to be and who they don't want to be. I remember one, I don't recall what we were reading at the time, but I remember being engaged in a discussion of a novel with the junior high students, and at one point a girl interjected, "I would never date someone who was like that." And I thought, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want you to come away with. I want you to think about, what are these abstract traits? What do I want to emulate? What do I want to stay far away from? So that is the goal of the art program. Now, this same purpose that's so well served by literature and that I had always experienced through literature is also promoted and experienced through the visual arts. Now that is something that until Mr. Travers, I myself had never experienced. I had experienced it profoundly through literature. The visual arts never gave me that feeling of, here is a concretized representation of an abstract value that speaks right to my heart and that I can carry away with me and has real abstract meaning. For me, the visual arts were pretty or not. And I would go to a museum and I would wander around and look at things, and something would capture my attention on a sensory level. Oh, I like the colors here. Oh, maybe it was a nice nature scene, or her face is interesting. That would be the experience of the visual arts. Then I went on my first tour with Mr. Travers to a museum.